and they're still smiling, so everything's going good there. Glad to hear it. Hmm? Together 8 years. Well, yeah, I know you've been together just about since I've known you, so that's, you've always
Oh, yeah,
been.
that's true. This is right around the anniversary of when we met. I forgot.
Yeah. And it was at the Muse. Everything happened at the Muse, didn't it? Mm-hmm. It's hard to believe that's gone now. That was such a great place to do a play.
I'm still hoping that they don't demolish the
Well, I think they have to. It's all money. Everything's money. That's what happens. Anyway, so I think one of the first things we met in was A Christmas Story. Mm-hmm. Right? You both were in that.
Oh, yeah.
And I was, too. And
yeah. I know I'd seen you, but I'd seen you in other things, a couple of other things. And I think you did student films.
Oh, I've done a ton of student films. Right, at SCAD.
I saw one, well, it was like a clip a friend of mine showed me. It showed me a, like it was like a 5 or 10 minutes of it or something.
And you said,
but I think that's the first time.
I know him. Hey, I know him. He's everywhere. That's Bill. I know him, right, when you saw the clip?
Well, that was before we met.
Yeah.
Way before.
Oh, that. So you said, I don't know him. I have no idea who he is. Why are you showing me this clip? Did it work like that? No.
No. No, it was a clip that a friend of mine, he did a student film. It was a student film. And
Do you remember what it was about? Because, as I said, I've done a ton of them.
Karate, I think.
Oh, okay, yes, right, yeah. And we were watching it in
Well, it was only like a 10-minute clip. A 10-minute thing, so I didn't see the whole movie.
Right, yeah, they were all, the student films are 10 to 12-minute films.
Yeah.
That's as long as they can make them.
But I think you were like the ref or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like I saw like an image of that somewhere. I didn't see the actual film, though.
That's the great thing about acting, seriously. I mean, I was typecast for a while as a homeless dude because of the casual way I dress all the time. My wife will say, "You're not wearing that shirt downtown. You look homeless." And I'll go, "I know. How do you think I get my beer money?" But I always say, dress for comfort. I had to wear a shirt and tie years ago. I had to wear it for 29 years. I don't have to now. The last 25 years, I don't have to wear it. If you see me in a tie, take a picture. It's a rare event.
I feel like I have, but I could be wrong.
Well, it might have been for a play or something. Yeah, okay, I'll do it in a play.
Yeah, you can't really draw a hard line.
No, you can't. No. A play is make-believe. That's what you got to tell people sometime, don't you? Yeah, I'm really not that bad guy. I mean, it was only a play. Stop it.
Because I want to say, I think, we did One Flew to Cuckoo's Nest together.
Right.
Which was...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the first time I officially met you.
I was the one that was crucified.
Yeah. We still have the DVD. Yeah, we still have the DVD. I forgot because I was stage manager for that. But you're right. That was I think the very first time we all met.
Right.
Because I remember you kept telling me I didn't take the nails out. That was, I think, the first thing you said to me, face to face. We left, and you turned to me and you went, "You didn't take the nails out so that I'd know to leave. You got to do that or I don't go." And I was like, "I'm so sorry."
I stayed on that stage overnight one time. Thanks a lot.
It was the first show I'd done in like 15, 20 years.
Cross your legs. I only have one nail left.
I wish I thought of that. That was kind of witty, yeah.
Yeah, that was, okay, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. A great play.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely great play. And, that was once, who directed? Did Chris Lucy direct it? Because he was in it.
Yes.
Or maybe he co-directed with Sheila?
I think he...
No, Sheila wasn't directing that. She was Nurse Ratchet and well played.
But yeah, Chris directed and was in the show too. But mostly just stood around and scared people.
Sheila Bolduc, she's moved, right? She's going back to some other state?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, unless she's going to come back every now and then to help. I think she's coming back to help for the Savannah Film Festival.
Good for her. Yeah, good for her. I like Sheila, and that was my first time I met her. But she played Nurse Ratchet so good. I remember Chris one time yelling at her, "You don't stop bullying my actors, I'll punch you in the face."
I don't remember that.
It was... And that was just her personality. And Chris had had enough of it. But she's, honest to God, I love Sheila to pieces. I really do. And it was funny. It was just like, I don't know, she just got a little carried away with trying to act and then get someone that you're acting with to do their part right or something. And I guess I
must have missed that, even though
Just
I was
that one
stage
time.
manager.
Oh,
So I don't remember that.
And maybe Chris is ashamed of me saying it, but I mean,
I remember
it happened. I'm a historian. What can I say?
there was one rehearsal we had and Peter was playing McMurphy. I think it was at the end when they were wheeling him out and he was all whatever, but he had found this giant straw hat or something, like something some old lady would wear, and he was saying. He's like, I'm just going to put this on my head when they wheel me out here. And I'm like, Sheila is going to kill you. Is how that's going to go down. And that's not her job.
Did he wear it?
I think he did because he was a fearless individual. And I was slightly more afraid of...
honest to God, and to bring Sheila's name up again, I have all the respect in the world for her. That was a jumbo part.
Oh, yes.
She had a ton of dialogue, and she was dead on, I think, every single time she said it. She was dead on, not just with the acting, with the blocking, with the expressions on her faces and everything. She was dead on, and it was, when you're in, and everyone in it did their job. And that was the nice part of it. I didn't have a big job. I had one line, which I can't even say on
No,
this
you can't. I was going to say, don't repeat it.
Was that literally all you said?
That was
There
it.
was-
There was
nothing
the only
else?
line I had, because what happened, someone had dropped out, and Chris Soucy had caught me. I was coming out of a SCAD building. For those of you listening out of state, SCAD is Savannah College of Art and Design. I was coming out of the building one day, and he's coming out of the parking lot. He says, Bill, we're doing a play. He says, I want you to be in it. I said, when's it start? Next week. I said, how can I be off book in 1 week? He said, you only have one line. What is it? And he told me, I said, good, I'm off book. I'll see you tonight.
That seems to
So
be
someone
your...
had moved, and that was when Peter wasn't even supposed to be McMurphy.
Right.
What a great job he did. I mean, for last minute, coming in and covering, talk about a lot of dialogue, and coming in and nailing it. Peter did a terrific job.
That was the show where people kept dropping in, and I actually dropped out of the show and dropped back in like a week and a half later.
And it was your
Wow.
first show.
And it was the first show I was back. I was like, I'm back, I'm acting. And it was like, nope, gotta leave.
Were you one of the nurses?
No, I was stage manager, literally.
Oh, okay. That's
But
good.
she was
But
just as terrifying as stage manager.
It was pretty. It was easy. So you guys kind of made it easy, but
Well,
they
why'd
made
you
sure.
let him keep the nails in?
She was too busy trying to harass me with a set of nail clippers.
Oh, the nail clippers, right?
There was a set of hair clippers that I used in one scene, and then from that point forward, for the rest of the show, anytime my back was turned, I'd just hear, and she'd be hitting me upside the head with it, and I'm like, "Will you stop? We're doing a show." And she's like, she's doing, same old laugh she's doing now.
I'm sorry, but
And look what it led to. A happy marriage, you two youngies.
I think
It's
we was
so
like.
nice.
I think we were only just dating like for several months by that point.
Yeah, it had only been like
and that was the first time I even realized you even had any interest in acting or theater at all.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, you just didn't think I was being serious.
Well, I mean, you said you did it in high school.
Now, I'm going to take her side in this, Thomas.
It's a safe,
I
side.
Seriously,
This is
I've seen you
oh my
on
gosh,
stage.
7 years
You're
ago?
brilliant. Whether it's improv comedy or whether it's a part you have in a play, you're brilliant. You really are. You're terrific.
Thank you.
However, off stage, who is it? Absolutely, who is it? You have a whole different Thomas persona off that stage than you do.
There are some people that don't even realize that when they see him and
In
they don't even realize
that was
because
you.
he's
Yeah, I believe you.
and he's. I mean, I guess it just depends if you get to know people and get to know him, and he's hard to read sometimes.
Impossible is probably the better word.
Well, I'm kind of terrible backstage because I'm one of those people that tends to try and stay focused.
Exactly.
And so
Right.
if certain people start to harass me about things, like
With a
with
nail
this,
clipper.
we said hair clippers for no reason or whatever, and I'll be like, all right, look, I'm trying to get ready for this scene. I can't do this right now.
I know. I get that part. But seriously, but even when you're not in a play, you're I just call it kind of stone-faced neutral.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't.
It is. I mean, I have to like prime your pump to get you to say anything.
Yeah, I think I just kind of hold or try to keep as much energy in the tank as I can for performing and things. So,
Okay.
so when I'm not performing, I'm just kind of like, all right, let me.
Well,
me
he's
hold
just
it.
as, depending on the mood or depending on the day, I guess, he could be just as animated.
Really?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
I will
Is
get
he
ahead of
more
steam about
unanimated
something.
or animated? I'm thinking he's more unanimated. I'm just guessing. Now you know him better than anyone.
he's what's the word? Not not unassuming. Unpredictable sometimes.
All right, that's good.
But
I'll take it.
Yeah.
he can be unpredictable. I mean, the times when he'll be animated and I'm not really feeling it, and then there's times when he's
Well, that's
probably
called a marriage.
and then but then when he's trying to be focused with a certain thing, I know there's a new thing that you're doing these days, and
Yes,
I'll
I know.
Now, Danielle,
and
I've gotta-
I'll mess with him too. So it just depends.
I've got to ask you. I'll tell you what Mary Ann does very well. We've been married 25 years, and she has the art of ignoring me when it's important to ignore me down. Now, do you have that down yet? There's a time to ignore what your husband's saying, to let it go over your head. She's terrific at that.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, you have to have it. That's one of the things, because sometimes we just like to hear the words come out of our mouth, and that's about it. There's really no reason for us to be talking except we enjoy getting rid of those words that are built up inside us.
I've no
and
idea
they're
what
really
you're
not to
talking
be
about.
even answered.
Completely untrue what you're saying right now. I don't know where it's coming from. I've never once just blindly spoke just to hear myself talk.
That's right, and that goes back to my original point about you.
Although I don't know if that was sarcasm
Wait.
just now.
Billing has a lightning rod, right?
Although I don't know if that was sarcasm because he's really good at sarcasm.
I'm not good at sarcasm.
Come on, I'll bet you are.
I have no idea what you're saying. Right
No,
now.
just now when you was like, I
Right.
have no, yeah, you don't know if you're. It's also takes time to understand his humor, or if you're not sure if he's being serious or being sarcastic. I've kind of learned to know when.
Yep.
Well, I'm still learning.
Any
little
year
bit.
now, she's going to get it down. It's going to be great for both of us.
Will it be an even number year? Because that's one coming up.
Actually, 2 more years. It'll be 10.
Imagine that. Wow. 10 years. Jeez, you both
In 09.
barely look out of your
And 10,
teens,
yeah, not 19.
to be
10,
honest.
oh gosh, we're in the. Sorry, it just seems like so long.
It
'Cause
was
we
a
met
long
in
ti-
09.
It was a long time
We
ago.
met in 09.
It doesn't just feel like a long time ago. It was literally a long time ago.
All right, folks, for those of you listening, this is Savannah at Night. We're on WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul. The name of the show is Savannah at Night, and tonight my special guest is Thomas Houston and his lovely wife, Danielle Houston, and we'll be yakking it up about the acting scene here in Savannah, and I have a notice to read, and then we'll get back into it. Hate has no home here. Savannah is hosting a yard sign, sale, and book drive. Hate has no home here yard signs delivers the message in 6 different languages: English, Urdu, Korean, Hebrew, Arabic, and Spanish. This sign is a public declaration that hate speech and hateful actions against others will not be tolerated by the person or organization displaying the sign. The yard sign sale and book drive will be on Monday, October 23rd from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Loop It Up Savannah office on 1106 East 59th Street. Okay, here we are back to the show now with my friends, my pals, my guests. Now, Danielle, I'll start with you. When did you first act? Did you do it in school? In what grade? Or when did you first step up on a stage to entertain people?
High school.
In high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like I was kind of deprived of not doing it when I was younger. Although I did like to play act a lot. And
With
use
your friends? You mean? Not in school, but with your friends? At home? Or?
At home,
Yeah.
mostly.
Sure.
I was pretty much a bit of a loner. not that I didn't have any friends, but I was pretty much a loner a lot of the time. I was quite sheltered. But I played instruments. I played flute in like my fifth grade, and then throughout junior high, I played the violin. And then when I found out that the school I was originally going to go to, which I didn't really want to go to, didn't have any kind of art program, so my mom enrolled me at Johnson, which was her alma mater.
Good.
And they didn't have a strings program, but there was the drama program, and she thought, well, maybe she'll like that. And so it pretty much went on from there. And it's only, I think, the last several years, or maybe 10 years back, was when I really got out of my shell, because I was always shy and very quiet. I still can be shy and quiet sometimes, even today.
I know exactly where you're coming from. Seriously, I was the shyest kid in school when I was in elementary school.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was afraid of my own shadow. It was the way it was. And anyway, but so the arts is important to develop you. Mm-hmm. And this is a message a lot of people really should hear. It's the first program to be cut when they have budget cuts, is arts. And it's too bad, because there's careers in arts, and there's good. And as you just demonstrated, it takes someone that's shy, brings them out, and now you can deal with people wherever you work, wherever you go to school, and that you can deal with people a lot easier because of the arts.
Yeah, I mean it took me a while, but I mean,
but it was the avenue.
Huh?
It was the avenue that you took, and
yeah,
it was a good one.
Yeah, pretty much. So. And, I love it very much, and I wouldn't want to give it up. I mean, I wouldn't even mind doing, maybe who knows, regional theater, or even anything in the performing arts, regardless, even if we moved somewhere, and if we got paid.
You're going to stay involved in it, good.
Yeah.
Once it bites you, once it bites you, you get on that stage, and I just describe myself as a ham bone. I love it. You have to beat me off stage with a backhoe. I mean, there's no way.
Yeah.
I love it. There's a nice feeling about it. I can't say I was born to do it, because obviously, I didn't make a career of it. And I started very late in life. I didn't step on a stage till I was 60. So that's, a lot of people don't have that. Whatever. I mean, and I started late, and I guess I'm trying to make up for lost time, because I've done so many things and played so many things, and I'm really enjoying it.
You're not the only one. I think there's several seasoned people now that started late.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people flex that muscle a little later in their lives, and then.
Well, I mean, I had kids, and it was tough. I couldn't. Extracurricular activity was theirs, not mine. I mean, that was what took up your time when I was younger. And then it just never dawned on me. The opportunity never came, and then I retired young, and was able to. So here I am and loving it.
It wouldn't surprise us if, I don't know what you would think about it, for future kids who might even get them into the arts or whatever they want to do. It doesn't have to be the arts.
Introduce them to it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You don't force a kid to do anything. You know that.
Yeah.
You introduce them to it.
Regardless.
And if they like it, they'll run with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whether it's sports or,
Absolutely.
Whatever they want or whatever they want to do.
And these activities, if you ever watched the kids getting awards on, like a sports award on the local stations, you ever notice they have like a 3.7 grade average, 3.5 grade average? They're not only good at sports, but they're good in their marks too. A lot of people think, it's one or the other. That's not true. You can be good in arts, you can be good in sports, and have good grades. I mean, it seems to go together, that these people, and the ones that are volunteering in their community, you wonder how they find enough time, but they do, because it's important to them. So that's what I think of art. So Thomas.
Yes.
Thomas Houston, let's go over to you. When did you start any kind of acting?
Well, see, I think it's gonna be about the same answer, because I was gonna say high school, but thinking back, it's like probably when I was a kid too. Me and my sister used to like put on little shows and stuff around the house, like puppets, and I think we had like an old tape recorder. I think I may have just recently thrown it away or something. Whoa. But like
some
we had
gold on that.
a literal cassette tape play for people who may not be familiar with this concept now. And they used to have cassette tapes that they would put into a little thing, and it would play the.
Okay. I'm sure there are
that
some
before-
people that I'm sure there are people that
That was
it's old
before-
enough that knows what a
Wait a
cassette
minute,
thing.
Danielle. Did that come before or after the pencil?
I think it was right before. No, it was right after. It had to be after the pencil.
Okay.
Because that's how you wound it when it got loose. Is you put a pencil in there.
Okay,
and
maybe
turn it.
somebody under 18. Well, maybe I don't even know about 18.
I was gonna say there are some people who are they may be familiar with the concept, but they are not familiar with it directly. But yeah, so we used to do like little recordings and do little shows and things around the house and probably some other stuff too. But it was never anything serious till I got to to grade school, and you do like the little shows and things there, and I would try to. I was trying to stand out or something one day. We were supposed to be robots. I think this was like 6th or 7th grade for some show we were in, and we were supposed to be robots walking, and we had little gloves and stuff we were supposed to wear. And when we were auditioning, I decided I would be the robot that fell over. So we were walking in a line, I just fell over, and then I just kept walking.
Yeah.
But
Now, did you get laughs from your friends or whoever was watching?
I think the people that were doing the scene or auditioning for the scene didn't react, but everyone else thought it was funny. The irony being when we actually did the show, I got a little nervous, which a rare event for me on stage sometimes, but I actually got nervous and I didn't fall over. So there were people whispering fall down, because everyone wanted me to do it. But I was like, no, it's not appropriate for the setting or something in my head, and so I didn't. So I have regrets in regards to theater. I
do too, sometimes.
You what?
I do too, sometimes. Because there's several people that I know that now that I wish I'd known about the Savannah. I was kind of familiar with the Savannah theater, kind of familiar with what was going on, but as far as the children's theater then... If I'd known, I wish I could have gotten involved, or maybe my parents would have got me involved then. Because because I did used to act out a lot of things. The Wizard of Oz was one big thing I would act out a lot, and then also sometimes I would act out other stuff. And in elementary school, even though I was kind of shy, and quiet, but there were times where I might do something that I repeated that I saw off of a show or TV and stuff. So I guess in some ways that I thought maybe that could get people to like me. I'm not sure, but now that I look at it, I guess it was silly. It was just me being silly sometimes.
That's how you think. As a kid, you think as a kid, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing silly about it. I remember watching, and it seemed like they had a ton of them at the time. There was only 3 stations when I was a kid. And watching bad old movies with my father, maybe 10 o'clock at night, a bad old movie, really one of those B movies. And we would be making fun of it all through the movie. And then he'd say something like, $8.52. I'd say, what's that, Dad? He'd say, that had to be the budget for this movie, including the meals.
Sounds like what Mystery Science Theater would do.
Yeah, right, sort of like that, right? But we were the ones sitting there just putting our own lines in for people and cracking each other up, over what they were saying. Instead, what they were saying was no longer important because it was an awful movie.
Oh my gosh.
But
sorry.
I mean, you don't realize that's how you develop your sense of humor. I mean,
we do that all the time when we're together as friends and stuff watching. I think that's the appeal of a show like Mystery Science Theater is that it started as a thing that you did, so people were watching them do the thing that they normally do, which to me, in retrospect, seems weird because it's kind of like you're breaking a wall and then breaking another wall, but it's like, well, it's funny, and then when they're not saying something, and you can say something silly, and it all works out.
And whether they get $8.22 for that movie or not doesn't matter. They get paid, and we didn't, and we're still making fun of it.
Well, that's always my thing.
That's a good line.
Into it, and we're not getting a
That's
nickel.
a good line your father came up with.
I know it.
I ground myself very often when I'm being critical of a movie or something that I think is not great. I always go, well, someone got a check for that.
Exactly.
So as much as I may be like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, it's like, yeah, but someone got paid to do it, and it wasn't you. So the tragedy
how I feel about what people call junk mail. wait a minute. Somebody had a job. They had to draw that up. They had to think up that ad. They had to send it. I don't have a problem whatsoever. I mean, I'll throw it in the basket as soon as I get it. Doesn't matter. They had to pay postage on it. There's a lot of jobs here. I don't want them to stop sending it to me and put people out of work.
I don't have that kind of patience.
Well, you have enough
to do
people
that.
out of work. I don't want to add to it. Please send me the junk mail.
Like I said, I don't think it depends on what it is. It's like, I don't know if I have the patience to do that.
To do what?
Like junk mail. You know, when people have too much time on their hands and they just do stuff.
I'm retired. I tell people I don't have to be anywhere till April. What do you want to do? It's a nice feeling. You know what? Danielle, ever tell you the worst thing about being retired is, and I hate this, it happened the other day. I got up so late, I slept through my morning nap. It was brutal.
I would think when you're...
That's a bad day of retirement, I'm
well,
telling
with retirement, I would think you would, have the opportunity to travel, to go places that you've never seen before.
We did for years. When I first retired, that was 25 years ago. Marianne and I just got married then, 25 years ago. We bought a brand new trailer, a brand new truck, and that following winter we took off, went down to Florida, and I had a couple of kids down there, and then out to Arizona. I had a son out there, and we just traveled for 3 months. Went out, made it all the way out to California. We had relatives out there, and we loved it so much that the next year we did it for 4 months, and then 5 months, and so for 5 years we did this. We just traveled the country. One year we took a summer trip, so we bought actually a pop-up trailer for that. We didn't want to come down and pick up the big one, and we did one through Canada. And through the Rockies, the Canadian Rockies in America. And it was outstanding. We loved it, loved every minute of it. And there were times, I kid you not, when I'd wake up and saying, what state are we in? I mean, we did so much driving, so much travel, and it was great. Because every state has its own beauty in this country. Every state, I don't care what it is, if it's a small state like Delaware or a big state like New Mexico, they have their own beauty. And the people there, I don't know how to say it, but I've been all around the country. There's good people everywhere. Don't listen to stereotypes or idiots. There's good people all around this country. And we just, I think if you look for them, you run into them, and that's the way it is. Marianne, you know her. She's as sweet as can be. And, we just had a great time, and we did that. Then when we settled down here, and we found out that we were just so involved with things going on here between the acting and the films I was doing and everything, that we really didn't have the time to travel, so we sold the trailer, and kind of regretfully, because we loved it and we loved doing it, but we just didn't get into it as much anymore, so, yeah. Oh, we did our share of traveling. In fact, even now, Marianne, every other year, her and her 2 sisters, and a friend of theirs, usually, will take a big trip. They'll go to Europe, or they'll go to Africa, they'll go to China.
I was going to say, have you ever been abroad?
No, but I don't mind sending her. It's wonderful. That's what a good marriage we have.
Because I've never been abroad, and I would love to. But then again, there's a lot of places here in the U.S. I still haven't been to.
It's a whole different thing. Seriously, I have my own reasons for not. All right, I'll tell you. I hate flying. I hate it. Yeah. I'm 6'3". I cannot get comfortable in any airline seat. And I tell people to say, how come you don't like flying? I'll say, empty a beer cooler, sit in it for 6 hours, tell me how you feel. Because that's how I feel in an airline seat. It's terrible. So I don't want to fly. Anyway, I don't mind that they go and take the trips. It's wonderful. They go 2.5, 3 weeks. It's great. They have a great time, see the world, tell me all about it when they come back. And I'm fine with that. But I'll go to Canada. I've been to Canada, Mexico. I've just been to the Western Hemisphere. I've never been to Europe or Asia. Yeah, years ago when I was younger and I was more flexible, I had 2 back operations years ago. I just can't bend like I used to. So when I was flexible, yeah, I'd have done it, but I didn't have the money or the inclination at the time. Now, once again, it's something they do and love, and I root for them, and they have a great time. So, but it doesn't bother me. Staying home, saying, Marianne, when you coming home? This is awful. She says, I haven't even left yet. Stop it. Anyway, that's my life in a nutshell. Oh, okay. So I want to do one more station ID here, and then we'll get back to things. You're listening to Savannah at Night with your host Bill Cooper and my guests Thomas and Danielle Houston. This is WRUU-LP Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM. WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings. community radio with global soul. Do I have another announcement to read here? Sure, I'll read this one. As a business, you enjoy our programming on WRUU-LP. Please support the station with a donation. Let your customers, neighbors, and friends know that you share our vision of building a thriving community based on diverse, vibrant radio programming. As business partner, our listeners will know you support Savannah's only broad-based community radio station. Become a tower sponsor or underwriter. To check out the levels of corporate sponsorship and to donate, go to www.wruu.org/business. Again, to check out the levels of corporate sponsorship and to donate, go to www.wruu.org/business. Thank you for listening to and supporting WRUU-LP. And back again with Thomas and Danielle Houston. Okay, I got a little thing here I want to try a word association with you.
Uh-oh.
Who wants to be first? I have 5 words here, and I just want, as soon as I say it, say the first thing that comes to your mind. Who wants to go first?
It doesn't matter to me. I'll do it, fine.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Danielle, here you go. Balloons.
Party.
Racquetball.
What? Racquetball? Racquetball? A game. I don't know.
Spaceship.
Outer space.
Dandelion.
Flower.
Turnip.
Vegetable.
Okay. Ready? Now we're going over here to Mr. Improv himself.
Oh, God, I feel
All
like
right, Thomas, here it
no
comes.
pressure.
Hubcap.
Car.
Cauliflower.
Dinner.
Field mouse.
Creature.
Light dimmer.
Brightener.
Necktie. You're only describing them.
What's the last? Necktie?
Necktie.
I got nothing. I don't even want to.
Necktie. Come on. That's be a word connected with it. Choking.
Choke. Actually, I was going to
Yeah, there
say
you
choke
go.
was the word I was
Choked
going for.
on.
I choked on that, unfortunately.
All right, I'm going to give it to you again, Thomas. And this time, don't tell me what it is. I know what it is.
Well, you said word to say.
I'm
You're supposed to say
telling
the
you what
first
it
thing that
is.
pops in your
Right,
mind.
but it shouldn't be the definition
Whoa,
of it.
I don't.
All right, now you know. You ready?
All right,
You
fine,
got the rules.
fine.
Hubcap.
Wheel.
Cauliflower.
Ear.
There you go.
Oh,
That was the one I was thinking of.
now we're
Cauliflower.
getting
There you
somewhere.
go.
In the old,
Field mouse.
tap dance.
Excellent. Light dimmer.
Spooky. Spooky.
Okay. And necktie.
Virginia.
All right, here we go. Back to you now. Same ones. Oh, do you want his? You want his or do you want the same
Something different.
ones? Okay, here you go. Hubcap.
Car.
Cauliflower.
Vegetable.
Field type mouse.
Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
Here, see, there we go.
Light dimmer.
What is it like to? House.
All right, fine. Necktie.
Occasion.
All right, wonderful. That worked exactly as I had thought.
This is the weirdest game show I've ever been on.
Thank you. And where do you see the prizes? There are none.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
it's
lovely
not the-
potting. Zero prize. You got some?
Lovely.
It's
Oh,
not
take your
those.
pick. Yeah, take your pick from the poster. We'll cut out a picture of it.
Oh, no.
Usually we have a bumper sticker for you. WRUU bumper sticker. Be cool.
Ooh.
However, I don't see them. They're supposed to be here for my special guests.
Well, when your special guests get here, I'm sure they'll be available.
That's it. They'll come in with them.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da. No.
All right. So now, Danielle, you were saying, talked to me before the show that there's a musical coming on, Mamma Mia, and that you just thought, you was thinking whether or not you might give it a try. So tell us about it.
About the show?
Yeah, about you trying.
About me. Because I was like, I could only tell you that Mamma Mia, oh gosh. It's the music of ABBA. I can tell you that
ABBA.
much. ABBA. So,
Abba-dabba-doo.
I saw them, and I did see it on stage, and I did see the film. From remember that it's this young girl who needs to find out who 3 men are. Which one is her real father? Possibly her father.
Right,
yeah,
that was the premise.
No, I said I was thinking about it.
Meryl Streep.
But
Did you see the movie?
Yeah.
Meryl Streep? Okay.
Yeah. Because I didn't know she could sing, but she does just about everything. So
she's ridiculous. No one should be that talented.
Yeah, it's actually.
She should be fined.
It's infuriating.
For being that talented. Absolutely.
Save a little talent for the rest of us.
Yeah, save some, you greedy little grub.
Whoa, hey, easy.
personal.
Cooper with the potty mouth over here. What the
I mean that in the nicest way.
Oh no! I know. I sometimes wonder that it's a crime for people to be that talented, or
It
be
is.
that,
I
or
think
that,
it should
or
be.
that.
Someone should
or
pass
certain
a law.
people to be that sexy and stuff.
When I've had to reach this high to only get this far, it is a crime for someone to be that good. Without apparently reaching at all. It looks effortless when someone really good does something.
But I was taking a break. But even though I.
So you want the Meryl Streep part?
No.
Why?
No. I meant I was taking a personal break for myself because I literally did 2 shows like earlier.
Oh, you have to. You have to walk away from it for a while. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Even though I kind of I don't want to say regret it, but I've been working with Savannah Shakes like since they started.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even go out for Titus, which is what they're doing now, but that's only because the audition dates coincide with dates when I had a surgery, so I couldn't do that. So I feel, but we're going to go see them, of course, because probably come next year, which is not that far away, anyways. Right. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
As I say, if it's in your blood, you love it. You got to do it, and you know that you have to do it, but. At least you had your eye on something good. Mamma Mia, I am not a big musicals fan. I will go, and I'll enjoy it when I'm there. I kind of have to push myself to go see one. I don't know. I grew up, John Wayne shoot-'em-ups. I didn't grow up with musicals. And I love telling Jin Hee.
It's
Jin Hee, right? We love Jin Hee. For example, Jin Hee, West Side Story. Great story that was ruined by singing and dancing.
Well, it's pretty much as Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's literally
Romeo
and Juliet.
There's a lot of movies that are based on Shakespeare. A lot of people don't realize, if you think you don't like Shakespeare, but you're seeing these other movies, they're actually literally based on.
Right, but they're telling it in a language I understand.
Yeah.
When they speak as that doth not knoweth, I don't get it.
It takes
it's like
time.
I can't translate that fast, and then the point is gone by.
It takes time. Since doing the I would have been a 5-time. I think I would have been a 5.
A 5-timer, you would have got the jacket and everything.
I don't think they do jackets.
I feel like
I don't know.
I
don't know.
Like they were going to.
I heard several people discussing having matching jackets for having.
They said this time they were going to.
I believe that was the all-timers club.
They said, "Who isn't coming in this time?" Danielle, good. We'll get the jacket.
No, I technically am a 5-timers. I'm not a 6-timer.
Well, then they owe you a jacket.
I don't know. But it takes. But Shakespeare takes time. Yeah. It takes time, and I have actually learned to appreciate Shakespeare a little bit more, especially considering that with Savannah Shakes, the settings that they do it, putting it into the modern times, so that maybe it's easy for people to understand it.
It's a little more approachable, is how it is, and even if you don't get the language, you get a sense for what's going on around the language.
Well, that's why I give them credit. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. Chris Soucy, once again, he's brilliant. He has the mind for this, and bringing it together the way he has. Mm-hmm. He has made it palatable for those that don't think they like.
Yeah.
And
Sheila Bolda, she definitely helped with that as well.
I know, yeah.
And God, I wish she hadn't left, because she definitely because it's like, you help bring this to life, and then you leave.
But
you still have Chris, and then there's Travis Spanchenberg. He's definitely helping to take the.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
So once come next year, I know whatever show they decide to do, I'll definitely be back.
Good.
There's also there's also a website that I found recently where if you really do not clearly understand what they're saying, especially with Hamlet, I've been doing my own little homework as far as for Hamlet, just trying to understand a little bit more. And there's actually a website where certain shows, there's the text, it translates more into like what you would say now. So it definitely helped me a little bit more, and for certain parts that I wasn't sure what they were trying to say, what they were saying.
Right.
And it actually helps.
Help.
Yeah.
Because, just taking it for that, and I know, I even the first one that you did there, I was one of the ones picked, and when I brought that script home, I had to keep looking up the words I was saying in the dictionary, find out what it meant to put the meaning in it, and I could never get it in my head. It was just not sticking, and I had to tell Sheila. I says, listen, Sheila, I'm being honest, you get plenty of time. You had over 2 months to get someone else. I am so
that's
sorry.
right.
Yeah,
you were originally cast in Taming the Shrew, Taming of the Shrew. You were originally okay.
Right. And I says, it won't stay in my head. I'm telling you, I've read it 100 times, and I still have to look at it. This isn't right. This is not working. It's a total foreign language to me. She begged me to give it a try. I said, no, you got to understand. I know when I'm defeated.
I think I saw you for.
Yeah,
Did I see you for the
one
one?
reading,
I think you were there for the one reading.
Yeah.
And
I felt bad because I never took a part and then walked away from it. I've never done that, and I really felt bad about that. But I was being honest. I'm saying this ain't gonna work. Come up to the day of, I still won't know my lines, and I am not stepping on a stage like that and embarrassing everyone else with me. No, really. I mean,
although you recently, if when push comes, if somebody has to drop out and they need somebody, you'll definitely be there. Because I know there was that one show we did at
Wilmington Island.
Yes, in Wilmington Island.
And 1 week. I couldn't learn it all.
And you had to, and they even had to explain. You were technically still on book, and you had the book in your hand on stage.
And what I did one time, Jeannie O'Connor was the actress I was talking to, and I had the book behind her back, and I'm standing beside her as if I'm looking at her and reading my lines. After the play, one of the guys says, Bill, I saw what you did. You had the book behind her back, but don't worry about it. It worked. It was terrific. But, the show must go on. I'm a trooper. But when I'm defeated, and that was not... I had never had any exposure to Shakespeare. I went to an excellent high school, believe me. Over 90% of the kids that graduated went on to further school. That's how good this school was. It was a public school, but known for... Yet we never had any Shakespeare, and that surprised me that we never had any Shakespeare. And so I had zero exposure to it. And now, at this later life, it's harder to learn when you're older. Believe me, anything. When I do a script, I will read it 50 times before I got it, and someone else will read it 10 times or 15 times. But that's, and I accept that. But that's what I want to do because I want it to look like I know what I'm doing up there.
Even reading, halfway through rehearsals and shows, it takes me maybe the third performance until I actually understand exactly what they're at least implying or saying. So it's not easy, but it takes time.
It's nothing. Here's my saying. I love it.
No, it's not for everybody. I can tell you that. It's definitely not for everybody. But
right. And here's my saying. You can rent it if you like. Nothing good is easy. Nothing easy is good. Isn't that a keeper?
That is, yeah.
Put in BC right at the end of that. BC.
You were there second time.
What?
Tempest was the second time you...
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
Because I was in Hamlet very
you
briefly.
Were because
anyway, not to get away from the point. That is great stuff they're doing, Savannah Shakes. That is excellent. And, they're getting people to come out to see it. Carry on, man. This is what the whole point of this show is to get people listening that don't normally get out and see what's going on. There is a ton of talent in the city.
Oh, yeah.
There is a ton of things, music-wise, play-wise, poetry-wise. Every day of the week there is something going on. Avail yourself. Get out and see it, and you'll and someday I want you to walk up to me and say, Bill, you're right. Wow, that was great. I'm glad you gave me, seriously, you pushed me in that direction because there's a ton of stuff. Now, before I get too late, I just want to talk about little improv over here.
Well,
So, tell us what you know about improv, Thomas.
I know nothing.
That's exactly what I meant. Okay.
Well, he does
I'm
it
a
better than I
blank
can.
slate as far as
Really, you were like, seriously. That's why I haven't. I wish I could. I really would, but you guys do better. I don't think it's my forte at all.
Well, I mean, everyone has their strengths, and you have strengths that I don't have, or other people don't have, or whatever. So it's not like It's not required to be good at improvisation. Everyone does it in some way, shape, or form, whether they realize it or not. And it's one of the things that we covered when we do classes and things. It's like, you may not necessarily jump up on a stage and improvise scenes and things on the spot, but from day to day you do these things. I think the example I used one day was, it's like you've got 3 people and 2 slices of pizza. It's like, so you got to figure out some way that everybody's happy in that equation. There's an improvisation that occurs there, whether you believe there is or not, some sort of resolution that has to be worked towards. And it may not be comical, but but it is rolling with a punch, so to speak.
All right, now I first noticed you, as I said, was working with you, but then that was about when Odd Lot started up too.
They had been running for...
now, were you at the very beginning of them, or did you come on a little later?
I was not. I'm technically, I guess it would be not second generation, whatever you want to call it.
They were the literary improv troupe, and they did, did they think they did, it was based on literary works, and
yes,
they did
they
improv.
Would literally read books.
And
then recreate the
It was
the
right
story.
after, I think literally right after Cuckoo's Nest, a couple of months later, that they did auditions for that. But I don't know if did they changed the name by that point?
No, they were already Odd Lot at that point.
Okay.
Now this is Chris Soucy and Justin Kent who got the ball rolling here.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, folks, if you haven't been to it, you're cheating yourself. It's outrageously good. And Thomas Houston here is, I don't want him to blush, but he's one of the stars, one of the people that you want to go and see. He is so quick, so clever. No matter what they throw at him, he has an answer that'll crack you up. So, once again, that's a gift.
It's definitely. I don't.
That, and that is a gift. You either can do it or you can't.
Yeah, I don't take it for granted at all. It's and it's just a whole. We're just a whole group of people who have an array of talents based around that, and it's kind of funny because I don't remember if the name originally came from the fact that we were all slightly different. But I think it kind of did. It just kind of came organically. And it's kind of funny that over the years, we've kind of maintained that one element, that we're all just slightly different than each other. But we somehow, when we come together, we make it work. And that's kind of the trademark, I guess, for the organization. Not to get all deep or anything.
No, I'm not getting all deep. Okay, now, there's a huge difference from doing improv. Once again, no script. You're standing up there and memorizing the script and doing your lines on stage. There's a huge difference. You've done it both. Just compare them for the people that might be listening.
Wow, that's not a tough question at all, about Cooper. I would say it's almost like there are similarities, but they're so kind of almost different as skill sets that they don't always intersect. It's nice to be able to get onto a stage and know exactly what you're going to say and do. There is a comfort in that. That when I'm performing something scripted, I feel very much like it's kind of I would say not safer, but in a way it's kind of like, okay, it's easier to find a groove, because if you're good at improvisation, or if you're good at improv, getting up and doing something scripted, I don't want to say it's easier, but there's a little more safety involved. There's a comfort zone that you can get into, because you're used to things kind of coming out of nowhere. So now, knowing what's coming.
Excuse me one second. I've never seen you stumped. Somebody throws something at you, and you have a reply. Seriously, honestly, instantly, bang, and it worked. Have you ever been stumped, like when someone says something and you go, I don't know?
I have never been. Well, okay, I'm sure I have been. I don't recall specifics. The closest I get is the closest I get to being stumped is every now and then. Because of the nature of our content, because we very much focus on trying to keep things PG, family friendly, all ages type humor. So there are a few rare occasions where in my option tree, my first two thoughts of responses are things I can't say on stage. That happens every now and then, and so
we are human.
Because there's one specific incident because people were saying they were like because Lanita Spivey said something to me during a game.
Who was also very,
and
she's very unpredictable too.
And to be fair, what she said was slightly off color.
She walks that line very well, doesn't she?
There's a line we all walk, and every now and then somebody kind of steps a foot over there, and it's fine. But it's just she did that, and I couldn't come up with a response that didn't go further over the line than she did. Yeah. So we just ended things there because people afterwards were like, "Yeah, we could see you running through. We knew you weren't stumped. We could see you running through options in your head, and you couldn't say any of them." And
but even in the moment watching them, even when if they break, it's just as funny because it's like they're not sure what to do, or if they see somebody else, they react. How they react is just as funny.
There's humor there's entertainment in the journey, whether there's success or failure. It's always entertaining, and that's one of the pluses.
And with improv, I guess you're really thinking on your feet, especially if something happens.
Okay. It's once again, it's going on in the city. Odd Lot, they're doing a lot of things. Plus, in Odd Time Radio Hour.
Yeah,
I was in one of the things. I think it's going to be aired this Friday night on this station at 10 o'clock.
I believe that's correct.
That's episode 3, right?
That is episode 3. I believe it's airing then.
And so
Saturday?
Friday.
I still need Friday? Because I still need here. I need to keep up. I need to find it.
Yeah, Friday at 10 o'clock. It'll be aired right here on WRUU.
Oh, that's right, the website.
So, Amir, let's give one more station identification. We're getting ready to shut down here. This has been a ton of fun tonight. This is WRUU LP Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with Global Soul. I'm Bill Cooper, the host of Savannah at Night. And tonight, my guests have been, and I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did, Danielle.
Hi.
And Thomas.
Hello.
Houston. 2 local luminaries that people love in this city.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And we hope you all have enjoyed it as much as I have. Thank you again, and good night.